Our next speaker, Steve Silverman, is Director of the Montgomery County Department of Economic Development since 2009. He previously worked at the Office of the Maryland Attorney General. His positions included Staff Assistant Attorney General, Consumer Protection Division, then Chief Consumer Protection Division, then Director for Aging, Healthcare, and Special Projects. He served 2 terms on the Montgomery County Council. He lives here in Silver Spring with his wife Sheila and 3 children, Sage, Caden, and Lane. His son Jordy attends the University of Maryland. Steve Silverman.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. I wasn't sure what to wear to the National Conference and Poverty, so I wore my Red Sox tie in honor of opening day on Monday. Sorry, Bruce, wherever you are. I appreciate the opportunity to join you this morning as the Director of the Department of Economic Development, but I like to introduce myself or have myself introduced as the Director of the Department of Jobs, because that is a critical piece of what we do each and every day, working with businesses, but more importantly with individuals. And we have a lot of help, and I'm not sure when introductions are going to occur, but I know we've been joined by my good friend and colleague, Uma Alawali, who's the head of Health and Human Services, who does a great job getting up each and every day to help those folks that are in need. Uma, thank you for joining us. And I had the privilege for 8 years of serving on the Montgomery County Council, a great institution which has a long history of partnership with the executive branch, and you're going to hear from my boss, County Executive Leggett, in a few minutes. But I know that Council Member George Leventhal is here, Head of Health and Human Services. Nancy Florine, who chairs our Planning, Housing, and Economic Development Committee, who's in the back. Mark Elrich, who's a council member, at-large council member, and who was the lead sponsor of our new minimum wage law. Congratulations, Mark, for your efforts and leadership. And I don't know whether council member Reamer is here. I know he's on the program for later, but has also been a strong supporter along with the other members of the county council. It is truly a team effort. So without taking very long, which is hard to do as a recovering lawyer and recovering politician, let me just say that helping to create jobs is job one in Montgomery County. We've got a very diverse workforce, and we need to make sure that job opportunities are available in all sectors of the economy. A piece of our department is the Division of Workforce Services, and we manage both local and federal dollars to support workforce development and job opportunities. We've got a workforce investment board, which is a cross-section of business and nonprofits and public officials. And we run programs and services through our Montgomery Works one-stop career centers, both in Wheaton and in Germantown. We have a one-stop center at the Montgomery County Correctional Facility, which last year helped 103 ex-offenders be placed in jobs. It is a national model which is being replicated throughout the country. And we have a focus on youth services through the Maryland Multicultural Youth Center and by Transcend. Last year, nearly 6,000 Montgomery County residents were placed in jobs through these programs in Montgomery County. And the numbers, of course, tell part of the story, but let me just give you a short example of the kind of focus that we want to have in this county and should have working with the private sector and the nonprofit community. We established a program last year, partially funded through a federal grant, called Accelerating Connections to Employment, the ACE program, which works with us to provide ESOL and occupational training to Montgomery County residents with the idea of accelerating their participation into the health and wellness labor market. One of those folks who came through this program is a woman named Friyawat. She was a police officer in her native Ethiopia, came to the United States in 2008, and for the first 3 years here she worked as a parking attendant. She landed a job in a doctor's office as a medical assistant And after a year, the doctor told her that to advance, she needed to improve her communication skills and receive more medical training. After a spell of unemployment, we connected her with Montgomery Works and the ACE program, and she was part of the first group of 16 to go through this program. She did well in her training. She passed her geriatric nursing assistant test, and she now has a job at a healthcare facility as a geriatric nursing assistant, paying $12 an hour. It's the first step on her pathway to becoming a nurse. Those are the type of proactive programs that we need to work with all of you and thousands of other people in this county to make sure that the folks who are unemployed and underemployed get a helping hand. And we are committed to doing that. You're going to hear from my boss, County Executive Leggett, in a couple of minutes, but I'm very pleased that he took the initiative and put into the next year's budget, which will start July 1, a first step to expand this program, $130,000 under an initiative called Montgomery Moving Forward, which will proactively link unemployed and underemployed Montgomery County residents with jobs in the healthcare and wellness field. It's a great first step, a step which we want to build on, and with all of you, we will make sure that the folks in this county who are living in poverty because they're unemployed or underemployed have a place to call home. Thank you very much for what you do.